Hi everyone. Do you need a capture? Anthony Fantano here, the internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for a review. Heems, Wild Water Kingdom. Himanshu Suri is a New York rapper and a member of the semi-comedic and always clever hip-hop outfit Das Racist. He is in fact my favorite member of the group. And yeah, even though stylistically he is kind of in lockstep with Das Racist's other MC, Kool AD, in being funny, being kind of goofy, I find Heems to be way more focused, hard-hitting, kind of straightforward. His voice and historically the passion and the energy that he puts into his rapping, just the cadence of his rapping, just has me standing at attention. His voice has some presence to it. And he brought all these characteristics to his debut solo mixtape, Nehru Jackets, that came out earlier this year, which I loved. And that tape had some great production from Mike Finito, one track after another. Lots of Indian and Middle Eastern music samples, crunchy, dirty, hard-hitting drums, really great and consistent features from Big Baby Gandhi, Danny Brown, Action Bronson, of course Kool AD, and there was a good amount of variety on the LP too. There were tracks that were very playful, silly, ridiculous, kind of tongue-in-cheek like Women, and others that were sharp and very critical like NYC Cops. Now, Wild Water Kingdom is the second full-length project that Heems is dropping this year, and his wish to be prolific is definitely admirable. But Heems is definitely presenting a slightly different side of himself this time on this tape. And that is very apparent right from the instrumentals. Heems does not have Mike Finito as much on this tape as he does guys like Harry Fraud, who has done production for Action Bronson, but he has done instrumentals for artists that have more of a mainstream style as well, like French Montana. He's also got instrumentals on here from Keyboard Kid, who is notoriously known for having beats that are a little more ethereal than what the average producer is putting out. And because of this turn that Heems is taking with the instrumentals, the overall feel of this tape is smoother, glossier. There are just lots of rippling, atmospheric cloud rap waves on some of these tracks. There are even tracks on here like Third Thing, which has this skippy, siren-like, club-worthy electro synthesizer phrase that is just nice for the dance floor. I would say the hook works within that context too. It's pretty surprising that Heems was really able to do a 180 with the instrumental feel of this project. There are a few beats on the back end of this tape that are a bit dirtier, most notably the track that has Childish Gambino on it. But even the title track to this thing feels like it lifts a sample from the soundtrack to a water stage in a Super Nintendo game. And overall, I wouldn't actually say that I mind the instrumental change on this LP. Yeah, I think the beats on here do have a wider appeal than what was on Heems' last tape, but still it does have a flavor to it. In my opinion, it's actually Heems' verses and his hooks that kind of drop off with this tape. And it may totally be intentional to kind of fit in with the atmospheric vibe, to fit in with the watery vibe that I guess comes with the title. But Heems' energy level is, in my opinion, much lower than what was on Nehru Jackets. And yeah, if you listen to Das Racist's tapes, their album, and Heems' Nehru Jackets as well, you will find spots where Heems does find himself kind of toned down. But on here, it's kind of just one track after another of that, where he's feeling pretty lax, maybe a little blunted, and maybe even a little giggly at times. He's really down to that kind of Kool AD level of energy. On top of the energy being a little bit lower, a lot of what Heems is saying on these songs, it's like haphazard filler raps. And they don't even really feel that funny or entertaining, to be honest. There aren't a lot of tracks on here that have a very strong, clear, and interesting topic like you got on Nehru Jackets. It's like Heems is linking one stream of consciousness thought to another in his verses, and you know, that actually isn't as random as I'm making it to sound. Because if you've heard Nehru Jackets, if you've heard Das Racist's other projects, you already know the lyrical territory Heems typically travels through. And while it's not necessarily a terrible thing, it's hard to stay excited about that when he's audibly less enthusiastic about it. And when Heems does kind of get up the energy to just really kind of put some force behind his verses vocally, you end up getting a hook like on the song Killing Time, where it's essentially him repeating over and over, I'm bored, I'm bored, I'm bored, I'm bored. A lot of spots on here come off as just taking up space, and like the title of the track, Killing Time. Lyrically, there are some laughs here and there, but I wouldn't say it's as strong or as potent as what I've heard on previous projects. Though I do appreciate Heems experimenting instrumentally. Like I said, maybe the best thing about this project, I think he incorporates a little bit of dubstep in the beat with the track Deepak Choppa. Some dub reggae influences come through on the track Half Pint, and the song Soup Boys actually incorporates a little bit of acoustic guitar in the instrumental. This is definitely something worth downloading for Das Racist fans, because you will come away liking at least a couple tracks from this. Because it's not like Heems really falls from grace, he just kind of treads water in kind of a really lethargic way. I'm actually kind of feeling like a strong 5 to a light 6 on this project. Kind of indifferent toward it. If you've given it a listen, what did you think about it? Did you love it? Hate it? Why? And what should I review next? Anthony Fantano, Heems, forever.